David says, this man, Oliver Anthony, he's referring to, already admitted to his faults. He used to be a drunk. He used to enjoy cocaine, anything to numb him from the drab of everyday life. It's been addressed in his songs. He's admitted and repented. No one can get a gotcha question because he recognized his own faults and speaks openly about them. This man is a real man. Start taking notes. Well, exactly. And when they start digging through his past, which I'm sure they've already started doing, it's, he's already said, well, I've done this, I'm a changed man, and we actually have to allow redemption, allow people to change as people do. Also, like in general, the good thing is that nobody cares about this sort of thing anymore. The digging through we've seen enough of the whole routine of digging through someone's closet for skeletons from the past, and we've seen this so many times, and we just don't care anymore. When the media comes to us and says, guess what this person said or did 15 years ago, we say, well, no, that's all right. We don't care. Oh, he said and did some stuff years ago that might be embarrassing for him now. Okay. Yeah, who hasn't? Good to know. Now piss off, thanks. So I'm not aware of, I don't know Oliver Anthony. I'm not aware of anything embarrassing from his past, aside from the things, as you point out, that he's already admitted to and talked about in his own testimony. I know how the media operates. And so I'm sure they are already looking for a reason to destroy this guy. And so I'm sort of anticipating that, although I hope it doesn't happen. Another comment says, it's a good song, but I don't listen to music with profanities. I know that Oliver is new to faith, and I pray he will be inspired to make songs in the future that truly honor God. Matt, I know you say that the language isn't a problem, but would you let your kids speak that way, speak the way he does in the song? Yeah, I've been arguing about this today. I mean, look, first of all, the S word is not a profanity. I don't mean to be pedantic here, but the S word, and I hate that I even have to call it the S word because it'll be bleeped out, which I don't even think the Daily Wire should bleep out. It's a dumb thing to bleep out. It just is. But it's not a profanity because a profanity is profane, and to be profane is to disrespect or sully something that is sacred. That is a profanity. Okay? So when you say BS, you're not profaning cow manure. The thing that the S word is referring to is not a sacred thing. So the word is not profane. It may be crass, but there's nothing intrinsically immoral about the language. And that's how people express frustration oftentimes, and it's real and it's raw. And frankly, I don't think it would have sounded as powerful if, instead of, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, instead of that, if it was, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for inadequate pay or whatever, that language would not be as powerful. It wouldn't sound as good. It wouldn't connect with people as much. I think the language he chose, again, is real, and it sounds like how people actually talk, and that's part of what gives it its power. Would I let my kids use that language? Absolutely not. That doesn't make it profane either. There are lots of words that I don't let my kids say. Like shut up, idiot, stupid. I don't let my kids say any of that stuff. And that doesn't make it a profanity. It's just I don't let my kids talk that way. I wouldn't let my kids talk about selling their souls in a metaphorical way. If my 6-year-old came down from cleaning his room and said, I'm tired of selling my soul, Dad, working all day for this terrible allowance. If he said that to me, he'd be in trouble like 5 times over. But that doesn't mean that adults can't use that language. As many of you know, we've been giving our dog Rough Greens for a while now, and he loves it. While our dog still might be a freeloader, at least he's not a lazy freeloader. He's happier, healthier, and has more energy. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is focused on improving the health of every dog in America. Little did I know before I got Rough Greens that dog food is dead food. Everybody knows that nutrition is not brown, it's green. Well, let Rough Greens boost your dog's food back to life. Rough Greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega oils, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants that your dog needs. You don't have to go out and buy new dog food. You just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. Dog owners everywhere are raving about Rough Greens. It supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more. We are what we eat, and that goes for our dogs too. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black is so confident Rough Greens will improve your dog's health. He's offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag so your dog can try it. That's a free Jumpstart trial bag that can be found at your door in just a few business days. Go to freeroughgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700. That's free, RUFF, greens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700 today. And this is actually important because if you're saying that when an artist puts his lamentations and frustrations to words, that he must only use words that we would allow a 6-year-old to say, then you really have put some very unnecessary and suffocating limitations on his artistic expression. And you're also demanding that we take something raw and real and we sanitize it. And I just don't agree with that. So look, if you take this hardline position on cuss words, on what you would call, I think, inaccurately profanities, it's not a big deal. I can respect that. I mean, congratulations. You found one area where you are to the right of me, where you're more conservative than me, arguably. So that's the one. It's the only time you can sort of like out-angle me on the way. You can take a better angle and get to the right quicker than I can. So congratulations on that. And if that's your position, then it's not a big deal. It's not worth really getting into a big argument about. But I also just think that is wrong. Like, I think that there's a time and a place for certain words that we wouldn't allow kids to say. And when it comes to an adult singing about his sorrows, and when it comes to art, sometimes that sort of stuff comes out. And I think we have to allow for that. And to me, it is a silly thing to complain about. It just is. All right. Let's see. Trent says, this whole Oliver Anthony thing seems astroturfed and fake, in my opinion. The song was produced by a right-wing influencer named Jason Howerton. Look it up. KM says, Matt, I like Oliver Anthony's voice, and he seems like a nice guy, but his lyrics, you have to admit, are simplistic and politically all over the place. The stuff about taxes and welfare is pure establishment Republican stuff. Okay. And please stop this too, because I've seen a lot of this, both of these kinds of comments. First, Oliver Anthony was not astroturfed. Jason Howerton offered to pay to produce his album in the future. Like, he didn't produce the song that made him go viral. He's saying, if you want to make an album in the future, I'll pay to produce it. How did it go viral? Well, somebody posted it on Twitter, and a few big accounts saw it, myself included, and we liked it. And so we reposted it, and a bunch of other people liked it. And so they reposted it, and that's how it started. That's not fake. That's not astroturf. Not everything is a dastardly plot, for God's sake. And if you see a guy singing a folk song in the woods on an obscure YouTube channel, and you think, man, there must be a lot of money and a huge conspiracy behind this, then I don't know what to say. You're dealing with a terminal brain rot in that case, and I really don't know what else to tell you. And as for the lyrics, they aren't simplistic. They're simple. There's a difference. They're simple lyrics that communicate raw emotion and real human suffering that others can relate to. It's folk music, in other words, right? That's what folk music does. That's the art form. So what do you want? Do you want something that sounds like it was made by a guy who went to the Juilliard school or something? That's not what this is. This is good old-fashioned folk music, Americana, roots, country, whatever you want to call it, whatever genre you want to call it. And Anthony's not a political pundit, okay? And I see this on the right, there's been some of this going on of dissecting. The National Review had an article about it, and they were dissecting the politics of it. Just stop, okay? Relax. So this is when people on the right just start acting like a bunch of dorks, honestly. Well, let's look at the politics, and according to this, this is where he lies on the political spectrum of. He's offering lamentations that are familiar to normal people. Some of it might qualify as populist. Some of it might fall outside that label as it's traditionally understood. Who cares? Is that what we do with music now? Is that what we do with art? Try to figure out what ideological label to put on it, and then we wonder why there's not enough art on the right? Because the moment anyone that is, not on the left puts out a piece of art, we have to start tearing it to shreds, politically analyzing every last syllable. coming up with all these conspiracy theories. Oh, where did this guy come from? There's something going on here. There's someone behind this. Like, just shut up. If this is how you respond to stuff, then don't complain when we don't have art and entertainment on the right, because you are the reason why you make it impossible. You just can't accept anything. You just can't take anything and say, well, that's a powerful moment. This is good. It's someone. You can't. You're incapable of it. And there's some conservatives like that. It drives me crazy. Okay. So give it a rest. And I will too for the time being. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.